Yeah, good. Into those thumbs. Yeah, okay, nice.
If I said to you like, could you do a 30-second plank? You'd be like, well, it's actually a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But making you breathe and do a 30-second plank changes it dramatically. Before some of the mechanic stuff, just assessing just ribcage positioning and try and give you a couple of bits to just with the position it's going to start from, and then just look at some mechanic stuff, also in a bit of a position that will challenge your core, not hard, but just in terms of breathing well whilst having to stabilise.
Yeah.
And then just some recovery stuff.
Yeah. You like to take the top off so you can see what's going on.
And then we're just going to take like a big inhale through the nose, big inhale through the mouth. Good, then the same through the mouth. Do the same thing with your hands on your ribs to feel it yourself. When you put your hands on there, what were you feeling?
It's definitely forward, a little bit side, but very little back, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Like, so order of movement in terms of being diaphragmatic, expanding there, but the whole shift being like quite up and diagonal.
Yeah.
We're going to work on like the posterior portion a bit more.
Yeah.
Your ribs come all the way around and connect into your spine. And so we're closing on here, which can be quite restrictive for not just your breath, but also position of your rib cage, how that affects your shoulder, how that affects the hip. How your shoulder, like your humeral head rotates, will be influenced by position of your scapula. The position of your scapula, because it rides on the rib cage, will be influenced by where your rib cage is sat.
Yeah.
You said training's been pretty full on. Your respiratory rate was. Tell us a little bit about what the nervous system's doing. Some of the recovery breathing we'll do afterwards, and the cold, the same, will help with that. The harder training gets, and if you get into some like bad habits during training, if you breathe well during a session, it should actually, in time, like carry on improving. I want you to just think about, from almost like from your sternum, just think about gently. You almost barely notice a movement, but trying to pull the whole of your rib cage down towards the floor gently. You might even feel like your glutes activate a little bit as you do it, or you might feel like you push into your feet slightly. The order of things: diaphragm descending down and flattening, ribs expanding out to the sides, but keeping that connection with your back, your T-spine on the floor. As you're staying connected, it's like you have to widen more. Did you feel any more width being created there?
Yeah, I think more on
sensation
on the exhale, to be fair, like you said, so the most I felt was like in the back and then glute, feet.
Yeah. Like I tried to breathe in, I'm just like opening here, but I'm closing at the back rather than opening everywhere.
Yeah.
And when you close at the back, you think of where those ribs come round and connect into the T-spine. Well, if I'm closing the back, I'm closing in on the spine. So I'm actually restricting the spine. So then when we did it, you can feel it significantly different.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. We see then that flattening. When I breathe in, I can feel that going out to the sides and into the back rather than coming into here. I can barely even see it, but I can feel it at the back of me. Yeah? And then lifting the hips up, and then that strong exhale. They're going to tense. Once it's all out, pull the bum to the floor. Try to pause with it out, because when you've forced all the air out, the ribs are coming down and in. That's the diaphragm's chance to go back up and also rest. Yeah. And we're going to try and stretch. When you breathe in, the diaphragm's moving down and flattening out. When you do these strong exhale, the ribs are coming together, so the diaphragm goes back up here. So that's the shape he's in. But then, because it's a funny shape of the muscle, once you've got all the air out and the ribs are down and in, he's gone up to here. But then if you then scoop and then just push those ribs out, you'll feel much more of a stretch on the on the diaphragm. Tension. Good. Keep getting more out. Once it's all out, relax, pause, try and pull the bum to the floor and do your scoop and widen. Suck it, vacuum. Old school bodybuilding. There we go. Good. It's out.
Yeah.
The stretch on the inside. But look, when I'm here, doing it, and then I'm going to give myself a little wiggle because you'll feel the difference on one side to the other.
Yeah.
So don't restrict the airflow, so we get it out. Good. Get it out. Good. Tension. Once it's all out, these can relax. Good. Scoop, pull the bum to the floor. Yeah, scoop and widen. A little wiggle side to side. Feel that deep in there. Nice. You feel it in the inside?
Yeah. Like just under.
Do you feel that, right?
Yeah, I feel
it
externally.
that one. Like, it's just falling there.
Mm.
Yeah. Internal on this side. Ah, that's a bit better.
Yeah, I find internal's always hard.
Yeah, on that side. Have you ever injured this shoulder?
I think
multiple times. I'm going to physically restrict the movement of the ribs on this side, the rib cage on this side. You're going to try and breathe big. Keep that connection to your back on the floor.
Yeah.
So don't just like go boom into that open. Get it out. And
yeah, I feel that one way more.
you feel it expanding on this side?
Yeah.
Next. That extra rotation. There we go. You can already feel it. There we go. You feel that?
Mm.
If you're going to go and do something like bench, or you're going to do some dips or something, just having that right shoulder with a little bit more internal rotation, it's just going to help. Just hang out there. Don't focus on your hand, focus on your shoulder, that right shoulder blade. Exhale this side, think about these ribs coming down and in, that's going to help you rotate that way, so you could even take the neck with it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and don't worry about the hand, shoulder blade.
Yeah.
Big inhale this side, in, expand. Strong exhale, yeah, nice. You feel that?
Yeah.
Nice, you can see it's good.
Oh, it's quite good.
You can just use that hand to keep that leg down.
Yeah.
And the knee down. So rotate over. And just hang there for a sec. And even just if you just do some slow breathing there and relax, it's going to go a little bit. Don't worry about the hand. Think about this getting to the mat. Yeah. So big inhale here. Widen. Force it out there. Good. Encourage these ribs that way. Good. Then strong in here. Strong out there. Good. Last one, prolong it a little bit more, in, and a bit more in, sneak some in through the mouth. Good, and then out that strong. Yeah. And when your obliques are engaging, when your transverse abs are engaging, they're going to be trying to almost stop your ribs from moving. The diaphragm is part of the deep core stabilising structure. Can you diaphragmatically breathe well and use it to stabilise your spine, rather than just cranking everything on globally to create tension, to create stability around your lumbar-pelvic hip complex. Keep connected to the floor. Don't shove everything forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. How's that?
Yeah, it's hard to keep everything.
Now if I just said, look, if you just just bring your knees up. Don't worry about your breathing, just tense everything like mad. Hold your breath and then move your knees away. Like, it's easy to stabilise. Yeah. But actually, because you just literally crank everything on, you're not breathing, you're not letting the ribs move. Now, when you're doing a heavy lift in the gym, or how you are in the scrum, you want to be able to brace and compact air in and stay tight. But what if that scrum goes on longer than you can actually hold your breath for? Then we're really starting to struggle. So we want you to be able to stabilise, be solid and strong through midsection, but be able to breathe as well. And we just don't get taught it. We don't practice it. In our natural state, typically, if we're going to focus and work really hard on something, is we
just hold
and crank everything on, because it works.
As many reps as you can.
But then you've only got a certain amount of time that you're going to be all right for, and the scrum may take a little bit longer. Think about pulling that sternum and that rib cage back towards me, just gently. That's it, a little bit. Good, into those thumbs there. Okay, nice. 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Yeah. Like elbow plank's easy. But then you feel the shaking. Don't just brace the hell out of everything and hold your breath. You're now asking yourself to be able to breathe, and your diaphragm's a breathing muscle, but the diaphragm's also a stabilising muscle. So it's making those sort of deep core stabilisers have to work on their own without the outside guys cranking on. and you like go plank. So we did 3. So each breath is 5 in, 5 out. So it's 10 seconds. You did a 30-second plank. If I said to you like, could you do a 30-second plank? You'd be like, well, it's actually a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But making you breathe and do a 30-second plank changes it dramatically. How many fingers on your back? 1. 2. We don't have good proprioception of this area or awareness of this area. So when you're trying to feel this breathing, me having my hands on there helps loads. Yeah. But I'd love to spend all day with you doing this, but like at some point I've got to go like, but the other side's anchoring through the shoulder, so you're going to feel very different. Now you've got to stabilise with the shoulders as well. And can you breathe well? Right, we've got to get this back portion going. In, good, 2, good, better. 5, out. One more. And think about this left side. In, 2, good. More. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, and rest. Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. On your own. Feel it. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Relax. Yeah. You can apply that principle into anything that you do in the gym.
Yeah.
Particularly easy warm-up stuff. Not a heavy bleeding back squat. You're going to brace yourself. But you're and you're a trainer, you know this. Yeah.
100%. It's tough.
But you can apply that into anything. Yeah. But we did basically 30 seconds on a couple of really easy core movements.
What should be?
But yeah. No, but it's the type of thing I never got taught. Even when going through UKCA strength and conditioning. Something to shift the nervous system from training is stress, sympathetic dominance, like it is a part of fight or flight response, but it's good because it gets you through the session, it's part of it. But being able to use your breath to just shift things over towards that relaxation response, that rest restore, and the rest digest part of it, like noticing the saliva building up the mouth as you do it. So it's more about extending the exhale and less about trying to build up necessarily air hunger. Mm-hmm. But we can create a light sense of air hunger just to help with CO2 tolerance, and CO2 being good for the vagus nerve, which that's the link to the nervous system. So you can. This is like some people call it like a non-sleep deep rest, getting into a state of like as close to being asleep but without being asleep. Your heart rate would lower, your HRV would go up, your respiratory rate would come down, and even you can see some changes in like your bolt score. And once you finish this way, you can gently open your eyes. You feel more something like saliva?
Yeah, for sure.
It's confident. Yeah, it's very good.
That's actually stuck pretty good.
As I say, we're going to chuck that in. We'll challenge the mechanics. It already wants to be through the mouth, but use the mouth as you descend. Like take an inhale, descend on the exhale. Good. Get them a little there. Good. Slow, get control of the exhale. That's the key. Same as when you're trying to get recovery during a training session or on the field. Get control of the exhale. So slowly exhale down, then get it to nasal, and then start the stopwatch. You count your breaths, 5 in, 5 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. That then gives us 6 breaths per minute. So 18 breaths in 2 minutes. Have a little think about your mechanics, like the tension that your body will create from the cold. Try to let the shoulders relax. Think about that rib cage position, so you can pull it back towards the spine. It doesn't need to be a big breath, but it's coming from that lateral portion of the rib cage. You can feel the diaphragm inside. Nice. Out. 2, 3, Or you feel like a build up of air hunger, like it's good for that's a little bit of CO2 helping, but too much can make you like lose that control of the breath. In 5 seconds, if you need to take a slightly bigger breath, you can. You're in control of the size of a breath, even when you're following a rate. That's a mistake people make. They think that because I'm following a speed, I'm restricted. You're not. The size of breath you take, you've got the speed of the airflow during those 5 seconds. 18 breaths.
Yeah.
Boom. 3 minutes 9 seconds.
That's not too bad.
Which is good. I thought you'd be under.
No.
You overdid it. Nice.
Usually pretty long, guys. Yeah.
In your own head.
Huh?
When you count seconds in your own head, you tend to count faster.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's good though.
I'd say like just for me like mainly the recovery stuff. Like obviously the breath holds are good for my CO2 tolerance and things, but I think just having like the recovery from being at like red light
To being in control again.
Yeah, because then obviously you're making better decisions.
Playing about and understanding that ribcage listening and how we want to try and get the ribcage to expand, noticing what changes, like in your like the internal rotation of your right shoulder, like your hamstring range. You wouldn't even touch your lower body, yet you can feel some change. Literally, that ribcage is affecting how your arms, your shoulders, your hips move.
Yeah, no, it's good. I think like you can just like say you brace like, and then something's like tight again. You're sort of like you don't want to stay away from it. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't want to relax into it. Whereas if you can just embrace it with the breath, then you sort of see that result from it.
Nice.